Wanted to cover a few things. I'm going to start up with we fixed our leaf blower. The new carburetor, again, remember what I was telling everybody about carburetors? This is the HIPAA carburetor that they sell on Amazon. There's your numbers on that. Okay, don't buy it. It's junk. Okay, basically the lines on this are what was leaking. The fitting here and up above. And anyway, I put the old carburetor back on with the new line kit and everything, and she's all good to go. Even the old spark plug, I didn't use that Chinese fucking junk. That old Champion that's in there, I don't know how long. That's probably the original plug on this thing. I should get another one, but I'm going to go. I like the E3 spark plugs. So, before I get into my political commentary, this is the steering pivot that I fixed. Uh-oh, here comes the terror of the West. I hear him. Orange Cat Bad. There he is. That's like having, as I said, it's like a pack of third graders all rolled into one little orange Tootsie Roll. Look at this animal is actually insane. He talks to me. Last night I wasn't feeling good. My leg was moving, and he woke me up and left me know about it. This is your pivot. I cleaned it all up. And this is what happens if you don't lubricate things. You're going to have the same problems with this, because this is the mount, as I said, where the pivot goes through. And then we discovered that's the CRAFTSMAN tractor problem. You see how that thing gets all ovaled out? Here's your Sten's part number. Now, I'm not like these other guys that do YouTube. I'm going to hold it there long enough for you to copy that steering shaft for that CRAFTSMAN tractor down. This is for a CRAFTSMAN, the Silver Series. Most of these are all the same. When you get up to the GT 6000 like I have, it's a totally different steering system in that. Because the GT 5000, that has a totally different steering system. So, anyway, this is the problem that you get with China. Wrong gaskets, the carburetor doesn't work. And it's apparent to somebody that does engineering or knows something about carburetors, porting engines, and things like that. Yes, wild man. Yeah, I told him. Vote for Trump. He's trying to tell everybody to vote for Trump. And orange cats are bad. Yes, they are. Naughty. Very. So anyway, before he sticks his Tootsies in my oil or my coffee, or I have my soda here right now. Anyway, it took a little concentration to get that leaf blower working again, but it fires right up. It purrs like a kitten. Maybe I should do that. See if it'll fire right back up. As it warms up, it's kind of like me. It starts out like me in the morning. I could use one of those primer bulbs to get me going. Usually it's the coffee machine. That's my primer bulb. Don't buy that junk, okay? They have an OEM on Amazon and eBay. There is an OEM carburetor for those Echoes. Spend us $50-$60 and just buy it. We got the bears are looking for garbage in the middle of the day. And I guess they know, well, the bears know not to come down here. There's one that does, it's a female. She's kind of semi-friendly and doesn't really give me a problem. But it's this bigger one, and it's a brown bear. She's a black bear. This is this big brown bear. Anyway, you just got to screw with everything. What can we fuck with next, huh? Oh, yeah. He got tangled up in a plastic bag, and it was like something out of cartoons. I come home with some stuff from the dollar store, and he tore into the bag. He had it all wrapped around him, and he was rolling around. Let me get my brain back on. That's what I say about distractions. I hate it. I was just discussing that because we're going to do a podcast with my special guest, and we're still working on the formula for that. But When I get distracted, it's not good. So keep your brains on what you're doing, and that HIPAA carburetor is not worth it. And the other thing I wanted to say is about these Craftsman tractors. Almost any tractor, when that steering is loose, if you catch a rut in your yard, maybe you hit a stone, maybe you get against something, or maybe your old lady's pulling up with groceries in your brand new truck, and you want to cruise on over, and all of a sudden that thing just decides to take a left-hand turn into your brand new vehicle. It ain't cool. Even my old trucks, it would piss me off. That's why everything I have, outside of Nikki, somebody else did all the damage to her. But we don't drive dented up, banged up stuff around here. We fix it. We keep it looking respectable. But there's a lot of people that got killed. If you go up a hill on a cant and you have bad steering on that mower, you don't have the recovery ability to recover that mower. You might think you do. You might have muscles. You might have some brains, and you're just too lazy to fix it. Well, it's one of those fuck around and find out things. You drive up a hill, or like I said, you hit a rut, and it might flip the mower over on you, because that happened to my buddy down in Weatherly here. He had a bank on his property, and he had an old MTD. I mean, from like the 70s or the 80s. He didn't want to give it up. He brought it here originally. I told him about the steering when I had the motor out of it. How much do you want to fix it? Well, I wanted $150 to fix it, maybe a little better. It needed components, and that stuff from those older mowers, some of it's still around, some of it's on eBay that's used, and some of it's in decent shape, so it's worth buying it, okay? But even like this mount, this is how the mount turned out, okay? These back bolts are a real problem to get to the back bolts here, these two in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the frame out, and I'm just going to put nuts and bolts in there. Because to try to work those out, I had to actually work these back bolts out from the top. And it took me like 25 minutes to remove this, the mount. So that's going to get my design, that's what I did militarily, is I corrected design flaws. To me, it's a design flaw. It's a pain in the balls if I got to rip that together or rip it apart after it's together. The steering, the actual, the plenum gear, that the actuator gear that actuates the steering, okay, plenum gear, whatever, or plenum gear, okay, that's got some worn teeth, so it's a concern. Now, I'm not going to order one right away, because this other mower in the back there had beautiful steering on it. I wish I could have saved that one, but it's too far gone. That one was ripped apart by somebody. Everything's missing. It's not worth my time for the Mickey Mouse tractor that it is, but it might have the parts that this big boy, this little powerhouse, needs. You see those? I don't place a lot of value on the single-cylinder tractors outside of that Troy built I have. I don't place value on them. I like a nice twin cylinder, especially if the grass gets heavy, wet, or say you're like me, maybe you get busy for a week or two and you don't cut the grass. You want something with a little bit of snot to power through the grass. There are people, they work very... God. I'm going to end up in the asylum from this cat. Okay, so get my hint to fix stuff like that. Okay, I gotta get him under control. He wants attention. Like I said, it's like having a toddler. Basically, that's what he is. He's probably a little more than a year old. He's curious about everything. You would not believe the stuff he picks stuff up that I have. I was working on this vlogging camera, and I had epoxy there. I just caught. He almost did what Chucky did. I just caught his paw just in freaking time before he put it in the epoxy. The other video, he had his goddamn paws in my coffee. He likes drinking coffee. He likes beer. There's outside of the soda, there's really nothing that cat don't like that I eat. He was eating peanuts the other night. I had to give him a peanut. Then he wanted another one. Maybe because it was sweet and salty. Cats they're incredible people, but they get to be lifelong friends, and they get to be pretty protective of you, believe it or not. At least that guy is. And Bubba was like that, and the mama cat. They were pretty protective of me. So anyway, enjoy your spring thaw 2024, and hopefully it'll get this piece of shit out of the White House. I can't wait, because like I said, I'll tell you, if I ever got close enough to him, maybe that's why they have Secret Service, because I'd stomp him like a bug. Have a nice weekend, okay? I'll probably post this tomorrow, and it'll be Friday, and the weekend's coming. I have the other video on this where I showed you how that steering was walking around. Remember, that is a dangerous issue. If you hit a rut, you hit a rock, maybe get against the stump and it throws the tractor. It could even throw you off the tractor or turn the tractor upside down. Been there, seen it happen, okay? And especially when those steering gears get really worn. All right, I have nothing else to say other than don't buy that HIPAA carburetor, and I'll let you know how that steering comes out. Like a lot of other projects, you're not like Tarot. They play that corny music, and you think you're going to have something rebuilt in a day. Here, it takes sometimes weeks, months, a year or two. I've had that tractor about 7 years now. I bought it over in Amherst, New Jersey, and I'm very fond of those. I've had a few of them here, and I would prefer to have one of those. I might even sell my deer because I got bills to pay once I get that thing together. But that's got to get squared away, and I don't know what I need for it. Pretty much in my brain, I have everything I need for that, except for the wiring. The wiring harness is not in the engine, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I have the wiring harness. I just don't have it out here to show you. I keep things a certain place so my memory remembers where they are. Because when you got 100 projects going, I have lost parts there. I've lost a spark coil for my kid's truck and a few other trinkets. You know, I buy it and I have no clue what I did with it. And then a couple years later, I'm looking through shit, and all of a sudden, whoop, there it is. You know, when you ain't looking for it, there it is. All right, end of the video. Thank you.